Hey guys, it's Dylan Hippenstill here with a brand new video. If you guys are new to the channel, I make videos that help teach people how to be smart with their money. My goal with this channel is to educate people about personal finance and help them reach their financial goals. I want to create a community of people that enjoy talking about money and personal finance because I feel like society discourages the topic of money. It's upsetting because the more we share ideas with each other and talk about money, the better off we'll all be. But instead, we don't feel comfortable talking about money, so we all lose out on valuable ideas we could share with each other. Anyway, let's get into the video on 5 mistakes to avoid in your 20s. The first mistake the younger generation tends not to make is the advantage of employer 401k contributions. Most employers offer a 401k match. This means that whatever money from your salary you invest into your 401k, which is a retirement plan, your employer will match up to a certain percentage of your salary that you put into it. Here, I will give you an example of how this works. To make it easy, let's say you make $100,000 per year. Your employer offers a match of every dollar you contribute, they will also contribute the same amount up to 6% of your salary. Which, by the way, 38% of companies will match every dollar for dollar, while another 40% will match every dollar with 50 cents. But anyway, say your company offers a dollar for dollar match up to 6% of your salary. If you contribute $6,000 of your salary into your 401k, your company will also put an additional $6,000 into your 401k. This is pretty much free money. Free money.
Free money.
If you plan to retire someday, you're going to have to start a retirement plan, so you might as well take advantage of this
Free money.
that this company is offering you. I personally think this is a very important thing to do, especially because most private companies aren't offering pensions anymore, so the younger generation needs to put it on ourselves to plan for our retirement. We need to put retirement into consideration now because the earlier we start, the better off we will be in the future. And who knows, we see they're getting rid of pensions now for the younger generation, so who knows if they'll match 401k contributions down the road. So it's very important that we take advantage of this amazing opportunity that these employers are giving us. Every year, make sure to take full advantage of this opportunity and invest the full amount that your employer will match with you. An easy way to do this is something I like to call pay yourself first. If this was my exact situation, I would pay myself first by just taking $6,000 off of my salary. I would do this because I know from the start that I'm going to invest that full $6,000 every year so I can get that $6,000 extra bonus from my employer. So I would make my budget for the year a lifestyle that would live off of $94,000 a year. This is just an amazing opportunity that most people don't take full advantage of, even though it should be done to the full extent. Now, the second mistake you need to avoid in your 20s is not saving enough money when you're young. I feel like once people get out of college or high school and go get a full-time job, they see that first paycheck and they're like, wow, I can go out and I can afford these headphones I've always wanted, or I can go out every weekend with my friends, or I can go out and spend my entire paycheck. It is 100% okay to go out and splurge every once in a while. However, you have to realize the more money you save and invest now, the more money you will accumulate in the future if you invest smartly and strategically. In your 20s, people don't expect you to be living in a luxurious house or drive a luxurious car. It is normal for people in their 20s to be living with their parents or living in the not so nice part of town. So take full advantage of that and don't spend your money on things just to impress others, but instead save that money and invest it so when you do want to buy that nice house or that luxurious car, you'll be able to afford it in the future. The amount of money you save when you're young is crucial to how you're setting yourself up for your financial future. Personally, I feel like schools and education systems need to add classes to help teach the younger generation and teenagers how to be smart with their personal finance. Because the people that do realize that if you start at a young age, they know that you're huge steps ahead of people that don't know until later in their lives. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is, the more you save when you're younger, the better off you will be in the future. Especially if you invest that money into smart investments. One investment I recommend is into a Roth IRA, which I made a video on, so I'll link it up here if you guys want to check it out. Now, the third biggest financial mistake most people make in their 20s, this one's a huge one, is not smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel to help join our community. But for real, the third mistake that most people make in their 20s is not building up their credit score. But building up your credit score is a huge factor for when you want to go buy that nice house or that luxurious car. By having a good credit score, you will be able to qualify for the best interest rates and you'll pay lower finance charges on credit card balances and loans. The less money you pay in interest, the faster you'll pay off the debt and you'll have more money to pay off other expenses. There are 5 factors that affect your credit score. 35% come from payment history, which is if you pay your cards off on time in full. 30% comes from credit utilization, which is the amount of credit available to you versus how much you use. 15% is credit history, which is the length you've had the credit card. 10% is new credit, if you get a new credit card. And the last 10% is the credit mix, the number of credit lines to show you are responsible to pay for it. By getting a credit card as early as possible, it'll not only help your credit history for how long you've had the card, but it'll also be making a record of your payment history. And these 2 factors make up 50% of your credit card score. So the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. Now let me make this clear. It is only a good thing if you use the credit card correctly. Just because you have a credit card doesn't mean you should go out and spend all kinds of money on the credit card. Instead, just buy the normal things you would normally buy. Like groceries or bills, but just make sure every time the payment comes, you pay off the credit card in full, on time, every single time. By doing this, it'll give you a nice foundation to start off your credit score on the right note. Now, let's get into the 4th mistake to avoid in your 20s. The 4th mistake would be not creating a budget. By keeping track of how much you're spending, it'll help you identify where your money is going. By doing this, you can see the areas that can be improved to help save you money. You can also see the areas on which you're spending too much unnecessary money. In your 20s, it's the time to be adventurous and go travel and do things like that while you're still young. And by budgeting, it'll help you realize how much money you can squeeze out of how much you earn to go and do those things. The best way to do this is to compare your income to your expenses. One easy budgeting model to follow is the 50-30-20 rule. The 50-30-20 rule means that 50% of your income goes towards living expenses like groceries, rent, and utilities. Then 30% of your income goes towards your lifestyle spendings like going out to eat or traveling or doing whatever you love to enjoy. Then that last 20% goes to your financial goals like savings or paying off debt or other investments. This is a great beginner budget to set you up on the right path, so when you do want to save more money and go buy that nice house or that nice car, you can alter those numbers to see how you're going to save that money and how much you can afford to spend. Now, the last financial mistake people tend to make in their 20s is not setting goals for themselves. If you have a mindset of where you want to be financially in the future, you'd be surprised at how important it is to start a good mindset and good habits at a young age. The sooner you start these habits, the easier it'll be because you've had experience repeating these habits over and over again. There are 3 main types of goals you should be setting for yourself. The first type of goal you should be setting for yourself is short-term goals. An example of a short-term goal would be like saving up for a vacation. These type of goals are essential because these set up a foundation of how you're going to reach your next level goals, which are medium-term goals. Medium-term goals are things like saving up for a car or paying off your debts. The medium-term goals are normally a larger amount of money, but since you've had practice doing them with the short-term goals, the medium-term goals should be a lot easier to accomplish. Now, the third type of goal that you should be setting is long-term goals. These goals consist of things like saving for your retirement or paying off your mortgage. By setting these goals earlier in life, it'll help you follow habits that'll help you later down the road. So I hope some of these tips can help you reach your financial goals in the future. But please, before you go, make sure you smash that like button and please subscribe to the channel to join our community and help make money a topic that should be talked about more. The more we talk and share our ideas with each other, the better chance we have of all reaching our financial goals. Also, please comment down below any topics you want me to research and I'll try and make videos on them. I post videos every Monday and Thursday, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So thank you guys for watching the entire video, and I will see you guys in the next video.